All right, so welcome back, and it's time for us to have a nutrition segment now. On the conversational nutrition segment this morning, as you can see, Akosi is here already with me, and the conversation is about nutrition and your postpartum belly. All right, now I know that a lot of ladies are, very concerned about keeping it together and making sure that their bodies are back to normal, and all of that. After giving birth and everything else. And then, of course, men who have bellies, they should also complain that their wives, about their wives' bellies instead of concentrating on their own. Anyway, let's talk about nutrition and postpartum, the postpartum belly. But before we do that, just remember that this segment is sponsored by the Farmers Market. And the Farmers Market is 100% hygienic and farm fresh. Okay, the show is interactive. We'd like to hear from you, so kindly use the hashtag Breakfast Daily for us to know what you're thinking, and also the WhatsApp line is 0550585832. Akosia, let's get into it.
Okay, so having a child, it's the most miraculous thing that can happen to a woman.
I can testify.
And for you to think that after 9 months you have a human being with you, and I always go like, you can imagine growing another human being in you for 9 months. And so it should be a solemn, well celebrated moment for a mother and that child. So being a husband, you need to salute the efforts, because if it was for you to do, God would have given you it to you to do. It was yours to make the sperms available. It was hers to grow the human being in her. And it's only the woman who can do it. And so that thing should be acknowledged. And it is the first way of you giving the woman the support she will need. Postpartum depression is a huge thing. And so if you are able to do that in the first place, you are helping to at least relax the woman. And relaxing her will do a lot of things for you as even a husband, and much for her and her baby. Postpartum belly is a big issue for a lot of women. I've had messages in my DM, so it's like when the flyer popped, I was like, yay! It's like, yeah, you asked for it. Yes, it's happening, because obviously day in, day out, COVID has given a lot of women babies because they had to be home. We need to make sure that we are conscious about certain foods which will help us as far as taking care of that postpartum belly fat is concerned. Sometimes you had people also engaging in some routines or workouts, hoping to lose that belly fat, but they end up adding or making it worse because they are not doing the right things. So to start off, I would say that eat clean. What do I mean by eat clean? Eat healthy. A woman who is breastfeeding, obviously postpartum after delivery, should make sure that, one, you are enriching on your folate and iron stores. Now, after delivery, postpartum anemia can happen, and so it's the reason why you are even given folic acid for 6 weeks. I had somebody saying she didn't do it. Nature was very forgiving, but you need to do the right thing, because postpartum anemia can happen. And sometimes you have a mother making it out of the hospital, delivered. She went home 3 weeks, 4 weeks. She just went off, left the child. We need to make sure, in as much as we've sat here and preached about anemia in pregnancy, it is something you need to continue after delivery. It's the reason why we give you that 6 weeks of folic acid, because after delivery, every woman will lose blood. If it's SVD, that's spontaneous vaginal delivery, or a cesarean section, you lose some amount of blood. So you need to make sure that you do yourself some good, enrich on your iron and folic acid stores. Sometimes you are supplemented. That is the reason for that. Now, a good way and most effective way to make sure you start working on that postpartum fat or belly naturally is to breastfeed well. Yes, if you are breastfeeding well, you meet mothers and you ask them, how many times have you breastfed? If she's able to give you the number, it means she's doing something wrong. That there are some people too who are very deliberate or conscious about what they do. So I meet a mother and she's like, everyone, I'm breastfeeding my mother. I'm like, this mother is breaking the protocol, because the WHO will say that at least you need to breastfeed 12 times in a day. That is as a new mother, or if you have a new baby. And so if you are doing even at least 12 times a day, it means that every 2 hours you should be breastfeeding your child. That will make up for the 12 hours. But you meet mothers who are doing 1 hour 30 minutes every 45 minutes. I met one woman every 1 hour, and that woman looked delicious, a mother of 5.
Okay.
So that is a good way to naturally work on that, because when you are breastfeeding, there is that contraction that happens, and it's a natural way of shrinking your womb back to where it was before even conception happened in the first place.
Okay.
And so if you are kind of pushing your womb back to where it is, Kweku, sometimes you walk to a mother who had a baby. After a few days, you begin to think if there is another baby sitting in there. Yes, the womb had to make way. The baby was growing, so definitely something needed to kind of open up. And so breastfeeding will help kind of shrink it back to where it was. So if you are breaking the protocol, it's one effective way of making sure you are losing your baby fat and doing the right workouts. Now there are some mothers who have done certain, there is a video to it, I know you call for it at the right time. They are doing the wrong things. Now if you end up putting pressure on that thing you want to work on, if you don't do the right exercising or the right routines, you may have that abs separation. So it's difficult to also work on that. So you have mothers who give up, oh, I've been doing this for a long time and I still don't have results. So be conscious about breastfeeding well. And then 2, you need to make sure you have nutrients.
Right now we're going through the checklist, right, for postpartum moms, right?
So we can,
so breastfeed well.
Okay, so the
12
checklist,
times a day, 12 times a day.
At least, that is the protocol. But if you are able to break the protocol, definitely, if I see your child, I will want to have a child like yours, because they don't go sick. They get a lot of benefits, and you, the mother, too, you have the benefits. So one, you breastfeed exclusively for 6 months. Okay. That is the 6 months exclusive, and continue after introduction of food, complementary foods at 6 months until the child is 2 years. Okay. Now, the second point, add an extra meal to your meal. So when a woman is breastfeeding, when you're pregnant, you are told to add a little meal or an extra meal to your meal. When you deliver, you add another extra meal. Because if you are supposed to go through the 12 times a day or even 16, you meet people doing 18 times a day and you don't eat well. Sometimes the babies do well and the mothers, they begin to lose their bodies, because breastfeeding is very hectic. It can take a lot from you. So you need to make sure that you are fine as far as your nutrition is concerned. And then include anti-inflammatory foods. Now, anti-inflammatory foods will help you as far as you taking care of pain. And then improves on your overall health. So that is the reason why you need to make sure there is anti-inflammatory foods in your meals. We have examples of that. So anti-inflammatory foods, examples, ginger is very good. There is a reason why their soups are prepared a certain way. And we have natural herbs and spices. It's not the boiling cubes you see around. So if we can show the anti-inflammatory foods, and then we have some vegetables. So yes, whatever you can work with, you need to work with it. Some seeds, nuts, dark chocolate, very good for that. Avocado, excellent. Garlic, ginger, papaya, what we call pawpaw, and then carrots, cucumber, and then cinnamon. But so you need to do these natural herbs with the help, like professional support being given to you, because if you go overboard too, it can affect. We don't want anything affecting the quality of the breast milk. And then another checklist: nutrients dense food. They don't only make you feel great, but provides you with multiple health benefits and may reduce your risk of chronic health conditions. So you need to make sure nutrient-dense foods are part of your meals. This is what they will do for you. You need to feel good. We've spoken extensively about magnesium-potassium combination, and we have examples here. They help to calm you down, and it takes care of postpartum depression that a lot of mothers go through. So you need to make sure you are okay as far as the nutrients you are putting into your body is concerned. So your meal should have this. And then you keep your body, that's checklist 5, keep your body constantly hydrated. So when you are pregnant, we advise you that you add a liter of water to your regular 4, that is 2 liters, making 3 liters. You can top up, because if you are breastfeeding well, if you are doing what you need to do well, it is no funcio, it's like water. So it's taking a lot of you. So you need to make sure you are constantly hydrating your body. And then you keep breastfeeding baby well. And then the contraction, I've spoken about that. So that's a checklist. Then take your postpartum folic acid, and then any other supplements. It could be iron supplement or folic acid supplement, but they are folate-rich foods. But because of how pregnancies happen here, sometimes you need to do supplementation. And then don't be desperate to lose the belly fat. Just take it easy. We will play a workout for you.
I guess you can say that it took 9 months to develop it, so don't try and get rid of it in a month.
And then you do the right routines. Like I said, sometimes there are people hitting the gym, thinking they are exercising, but they are not getting what they want.
Okay, so let's do this. Let's take a look at that workout video, and then we'll come back and continue the conversation. So there you have it. You have all the different workouts there that you can do. But it's absolutely vital that we get into workout, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is. That's what I'm saying. These are simple things to do, but it will give you great results. You realize that she wasn't putting pressure on the belly part. That's what creates the midsection in some people. And some people, too, the pregnancy alone can even give you that. But these are ways to make sure that you take care of it. I always say that nutrition is key. If you are breastfeeding your child well and eating well, what are you eating? If you are putting a lot of fat stuffs into your system or junky stuff into your system, definitely you will look as that. You wouldn't look like you looked before you conceived. So you need to make sure you eat well. If you have challenges, then you will need a professional to guide you. They are around.
Okay. So what's wrong with hitting the gym hard if that's what she chooses to do? Okay,
so you know that women are fragile at that point. And if I am your wife, you wouldn't want me to do something that can put me in trouble, sort of. Now, I say that the first 6 months, it's very crucial for the life of that child because you need to make sure that exclusive breastfeeding is happening. So I don't expect you to try to kind of dig it in, like to dig it. You need to allow your body to pay attention to that human being. Like I said, for the first period, these are things, workouts, simple workouts you can do in the house and still breastfeed well, which is a sure way to make sure you naturally are losing your baby fat.
Okay. So, of course, people can reach you, but let me just ask this quickly. The workout can start immediately after you give birth?
No, so now, thank you for that question. You realize that for some women, there is a page or a platform for mothers and babies. We manage it. So one posted a question, when can I start having sex? And another came out and was like, oh, 3 weeks after delivery, I started having it. Ideally, that's why it's 6 weeks. So after the folic acid, you can go in. But
Okay.
you need to ask your doctor, because some pregnancies, my pregnancy may be different from the first
from another,
pregnancy.
pose
And
different
so,
challenges.
yes, and for the CS people, sometimes it can be a little faster, but whatever it is, after the 6 weeks, sometimes, mostly you can go.
back in.
So if you can go into that, it means that you can start this simple workouts. And I think that even a week after delivery, these are things that wouldn't even hurt you as a new mom. But make sure that you are not in a haste to kind of achieve results. Start gradually, and you will be fine.
All right. So how can people get in touch with you?
Okay, so on Instagram at the Nutritionist Akosia, at the Nutritionist Akosia, on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Nutritionist Akosia, and then you can reach me on 0243350206, or just leave a WhatsApp message.
All right. Fantastic. We've been speaking with Akosia Kunidi-Adam, who's a state-registered nutritionist, and she's been helping us to get into the conversation on postpartum belly and how to get rid of it